Hi all, this is season 3, episode 4 of the Emberhart podcast, the show in which we forge brave character and discuss about all the important lessons of life. So, find a quiet corner and let us get right into it. Here we go. The demonic call that will not let you go. Discovering vocation beyond career. Dear Amelia Emberhart, there comes a moment in life when the familiar question, what should I do, begins to feel insufficient. A deeper question emerges, quieter but more demanding. What is life asking of me? This is the beginning of vocation, and that is what David Brooks writes in The Second Mountain. Career versus vocation. A career is often a rational construction. It is planned, optimized, and guided by logic. The mind evaluates options, weighs outcomes, and chooses a path that appears sensible and rewarding. A vocation is something else entirely. It does not always make sense. It does not always feel convenient. It does not ask for your approval. It calls. Where a career is chosen, a vocation is felt as an obligation. It pulls you away from the well-worn paths and toward something uniquely yours. It asks not what you want from life, but what life expects from you. And once you hear it, ignoring it becomes difficult. The path toward vocation is rarely clean. It is confusing, nonlinear, and often filled with doubt. Only later do people craft a neat narrative, as if everything unfolded logically. In reality, it rarely does. There are also testing periods, times when the costs outweigh the benefits. A career mindset may abandon the path at this stage, but the person guided by vocation continues, because turning away feels impossible. The annunciation moment. Often the call begins with a spark. An annunciation moment, a sudden encounter with something that captivates you. It might be a childhood fascination, a fleeting experience of beauty, or a moment of wonder that pulls you out of yourself. You are no longer absorbed in your own thoughts. You are drawn outward, toward something greater. Beauty has this power. It invites you. It awakens desire. It whispers that there is something here worth exploring, worth devoting yourself to. These moments matter because they narrow your path. They quietly rule out countless alternatives. In a world that tells you everything is possible, vocation reminds you that not everything is meant for you. A simple question can guide you. What have you truly loved? Not what impresses others, not what seemed practical, what genuinely stirred your soul. The role of mentors. Vocation cannot be pursued alone. There are forms of knowledge that cannot be written down or explained in theory. They must be lived, observed, and absorbed. This is practical knowledge, the feel for a craft, the intuition for timing, the subtle sense of what is right and what is slightly off. Mentors transmit this knowledge not through instruction alone, but through shared experience. They allow you to participate, to fail, to try again. The best mentors do something rare. They combine deep care with high expectations. They demand excellence, not for your ego, but for the sake of the work itself. They teach you to focus on the task, not yourself. Embrace mistakes as part of the process. Persist through struggle rather than avoid it. Because the struggle is not an obstacle, it is the path. The weight of big decisions. Choosing a vocation is not like choosing what to eat for dinner. It is a transformational choice, one that changes who you are. These are what some call vampire problems. Once you make the choice, there is no returning to who you were before. Marriage, parenthood, or calling, a major life shift. These decisions reshape your identity. And every choice carries loss. To choose one path is to abandon others. You will always wonder, at times, about the roads not taken. This awareness can paralyze people. They deliberate endlessly over small decisions, yet drift into the most important ones. Neither pure intuition nor pure logic is sufficient here. Intuition can mislead, especially in unfamiliar territory. Rational analysis struggles with questions of meaning and purpose. Instead, vocation asks different questions. What am I drawn to? Again and again. What problems feels important enough to dedicate my life to? And am I uniquely positioned through my experiences to contribute here? At the center of this inquiry is something deeper, a demon, a persistent inner force, an obsession, a source of energy that makes the work feel alive. When you encounter it, you feel at home. The path to mastery. Once the path is chosen, the real work begins. A meaningful vocation has 3 dimensions. Length, something you can improve at over a lifetime. Breadth, something that connects you to others. Height, something that serves a higher idea. Mastery requires more than repetition. It requires deliberate practice, a focused, disciplined effort to improve beyond good enough. The brain naturally automates skills, making them efficient but also complacent. To reach excellence, you must slow this process down and refine each detail intentionally. Discipline becomes essential, not as restriction but as freedom. By committing to routines, minimizing distractions, and focusing your attention, you create these conditions for deep work. You learn to separate moments of performance from moments of reflection. When it is time to act, you act. When it is time to think, you think. And most importantly, you begin. If you know what you are meant to do, even imperfectly, you must start doing it. Closing reflection. Vocation is not a destination, it is a relationship. A relationship between you and the work that calls you, between your talents and the needs of the world, between your heart and your responsibility. It will not always be clear, it will not always be easy, but it will feel alive. And in a world full of options, that aliveness is rare. Do not wait for certainty. Do not wait for permission. Listen carefully. Something is already calling you. This is your moment. Take command and show us the path. Thank you for tuning in. If you found value in today's episode, please help someone else by sharing this episode or leaving a review. For more tools or on building your best self, head over to emberhart.com and follow us on Facebook at Emberhart Co. Keep showing up, keep growing, and stay strong. See you next time.